in the way that we are serving. I personally am especially grateful for the protection. We have traveled all over the United States for the work that we're doing with the Brain and Body Foundation. And especially we're grateful to you, our viewers, for your patronage, your faithfulness to watch these programs, to give us feedback. And most especially for the award that we won recently. We have been we were nominated, and later on we won the award for the best TV program for the promotion of health. So thank you. We could not have done that without you. So thank you, and thank you again. The need for Nigerians like you and me to understand the basic fundamental principles when it comes to learning how to take control of your health could not be greater. This is not going to be the last pandemic. There are probably going to be worse pandemics. We have to understand how to take control of our health while taking advantage of whatever is available to us by the government, whether it's vaccines or treatments. But you cannot put aside your own personal responsibility for your health. And that's why we do the things that we do. So we know that there are some basic things like you got to have enough sleep, you have to exercise, you have to move, you have to eat good food. You don't want to eat junk food all the time. You also have to be sure that you are taking your medications, especially if you are diabetic and hypertensive. As you well know, most of the deaths have been in people who are overweight, who have diabetes, who have hypertension, or some other kind of comorbidity or chronic disease. Those are the ones that are being killed, of course, aged by COVID-19. And many times it's because they did not have these diseases under control. So it is super important that we understand these things. In my opinion, something that we seem to have overlooked the most, and which is not being emphasized like I should, and I've come to have a lot of respect for the professionals who take care of this particular field. The field I'm talking about is the field of oral health, dental health, specifically the dentists who are taking care of people within this field. What we are beginning to find out is that the health of your teeth and your gums has a very fundamental, very concrete effect on not just your brain health, but the health of the rest of your body. And it can be the deciding factor as to how well you age and how well you're able to control those other diseases that we're talking about. So this particular presentation will be super, super important. All right, welcome back, folks. I am with me on the show today. It's Dr. Dayo Oluwadara, who happens to be my former classmate from medical school. So we know ourselves all the way back to, we're aging out. We're dating ourselves now, but 1990. It was supposed to be 1989, but with all the strikes and all that. Anyway, we have been friends and classmates since 1990, and we went through all the trials and tribulations of medical school. He currently runs a thriving dental practice called Sheba Dental, based in Texas, and is planning on opening one in California. Dr. Dayo, welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you, my friend Dayo. It's nice to see all the achievements that you have made in the Brain and Body Foundation, and congratulations to you on the award. That's such an excellent thing.
Thank you.
Well done. Yeah. And it's nice to be on the show today. Thanks for having me.
Yes, we've been working on this for a while, and we're really looking forward to what you have said. So it's interesting, folks, that we're both named Dayo, so we'll be going back and forth with Dayo. Just so you know. Okay, so tell us a little bit about your practice and what you do. I know you have a PhD in dental, along with your dental qualification. So let's tell us a little bit about your focus on what you do at your practice.
I care so much because of the care of the patient. The approach is to have to look at the patient, not just treating the mouth or the oral tissues, but looking at the patient as an holistic view. What's the impact of your oral health on your entire body? And coupled with my training in the doctoral degree in oral biology, oral cancer research, I kind of see a lot more that what the mouth, the impact of what happens in your mouth can actually reflect over your body. And research and documentation has shown that a lot. So In a nutshell, my entire goal is to look at my patient and be able to see and treat you beyond the mouth, kind of give you all the necessary oral medical advice that you need to take care of, not only of your mouth, but to take care of your entire systemic body as well.
Fantastic. And that is exactly what we're talking about, because why don't we start with the basics? Why is it important to have good oral hygiene from your experience and from your research, of course, from theory as well? Why is it so important? Let's start there.
Oral hygiene, it's literally said your mouth is the mirror of the body. And right now, we're looking at the structures of your body, your teeth, your gums, your tissues, your tongue, the mucosa, the saliva. Everything works together to create a milieu and an environment in which you need to take care of everything. Now, if you do not do, and you have infection accumulate over a period of time, it complicates not only your oral health, it can complicate your heart, it can complicate your brain, it can complicate your GI tissues, your stomach, and your entire body. And it has impact all over even general autoimmune disease that you can have. And research has shown the importance of the mouth and what we call the microflora, or the bacteria and the viruses that are resident in the mouth, what impact they can do all over your body if you neglect to take care of your mouth and oral tissues.
Interesting. So it's not just about the teeth, but the gums and the saliva as well. That's interesting. I know we're going to talk about that some more. So now let's talk about some concrete examples. Patients, of course, you don't have to identify them, but in your practice, you've seen this person, you warned them, this person, he was not brushing his teeth regularly, he was not flossing regularly. And you probably were warning him and warning them and telling them to do this, and then eventually something happens. Do you have such cases like that we can point to and you can say what happens when you do not take care of the teeth?
Yeah, no, there's several cases. I will start with what should be the norm, what should be the expected stuff. The American Association kind of advise that every individual should at least brush twice daily and at least 2 minutes per each session of your brushing. So whenever you brush, you at least maintain 2 minutes to be able to take care of the entire mouth, going through all the crevices to the back and everything, and make sure you clean. And at least you can do that twice daily.
It also twice daily when you wake up and when you go to bed, or is there any specific after?
Generally, it is suggested after breakfast, in the morning, and last thing before you go to bed. But again, we cannot kind of make a fastidious rule because we differ as individuals. The time that we eat, the time that we drink stuff, the entire goal is this. We don't want you to have food and sugar and stuff remaining lot in your mouth when you're going to bed. Your mouth should be free of all those food debris that bacteria and viruses can act upon over the night or over several hours, and can cause a lot of acidic changes in your mouth, or that can destroy your teeth or your gums. So essentially, the essence of brushing is to break away all those microbacteria and the impact which toxins that they produce can impact you and impact your oral health. So that's the standard. The second standard.
Wait, hang on just a minute. So causing acidity in the teeth and the gums, why is that important? Why is that a problem?
Because whenever you have too much acidic environment, it destroys your gums and it makes you to have tendencies to have cavities on your teeth. So you have a lot of decalcifications that goes on due to the acid, and from there you begin to have holes on your teeth, and you begin to have gum irritations, accumulation of other bacteria and viruses to grow, and then you begin to have gum problems, gum bleeding that leaves literally from the gum alone and goes to the entire supporting tissues, what we call the periodontium, and you have what we call periodontitis. That in itself is the key problem that causes a lot of all other problems within the body. It can affect you, either you have instances of diabetes and many other systemic problems, as we will take along as we discuss.
Diabetes. You're saying me that gum disease results in diabetes?
Yes, it could complicate risk factors for you, and you have your tendencies to become diabetic. Not only that, it could have a lot of microflora within the gums itself, can cause more cardiac problems for you. Tendencies for cardiovascular problem. You have a lot of plaque being formed, as a result of some of the toxins and bacteria that lives and dwell within the mouth. So in other words, if you allow a lot of bacteria and viruses to dwell within your mouth, that microflora can cause a lot of stuff. One in itself, they can get into your blood. So you have some kind of low-grade bacteremia, where you have a lot of seedlings of bacteria within your blood that can flow all over your body and affect your organs. Not only that, they produce toxins. So if they don't go directly into your blood, toxins can go into your blood. And that toxins can affect every aspect of your body. Finally, whenever toxins gets into your body reacts it. So those inflammatory response from the body itself also cause destructions to your body. So the mouth is very essential.
But are you saying that simply by brushing your teeth twice a day, you can avoid all this?
Yes, you can reduce a lot of those problems, because what essentially the brushing does is to dislodge away how those microbacter form and aggregate. So brushing itself kind of helps dislodge them and clean them up. And that's very important. And when you do brush, you want to use another standard by the American Dental Association, that you have a good toothbrush. One that has soft tissue brushing techniques on it, and that you can last you for about 3 to 4 months. Now, if most of the bristles are gone, you need to change out those brush even before 3 or 4 months. So you cannot.
But don't forget now. I mean, our teeth are strong. We can't be using soft toothbrushes now. You know that too now. Soft toothbrushes are for white people's teeth. You know that.
Of course, you can always step up to a middle grade toothpaste depending on you as an individual. But you need to make sure you use something that can dislodge bacterial flora whenever you brush. That won't be cutting or hurting your gums, or that won't be destroying your teeth. Because when you use very aggressive toothpaste, it can again cause destruction of your teeth while you're taking care of it. So there has to be a balance thereof. But the most important thing is you must be able to use a good toothbrush. You cannot have a toothbrush that you use for 1 year, 2 or 3 years, and you don't change it.
Very important. Sorry, very important. At this point, we have to take a quick break, a quick commercial break, so folks. Doc, that thoughts, folks, don't go away. And if you haven't called your friends, make sure you call them, because this is very important information. See you soon. All right, folks, welcome back. I am here on the show, or on the show with me is Dr. Dayo Oluwadara, who is a dental surgeon based in the USA. Dr. D, back to you. We're going to talk about the importance of keeping the toothbrush itself clean and putting it in a good environment. Go.
Okay, so as we were talking about, the other important thing is where you keep the toothbrush. Because as much as a toothbrush can be a good equipment or tool for you to clean your mouth, if you don't keep it in a safe environment, if you keep it in an environment which it attracts a lot of bacteria, the microenvironment is so dirty, you keep it in the dust, keep it in an open space, it could attract a lot of bacteria and viruses. And when you put it back into your mouth, you are literally introducing bacteria back into your mouth from other sources. And you'll be so surprised. Some other people too use one toothbrush across several family members.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
So that's a terrible exchange of microbacteria that is very dangerous. Now, each individual, it's been known by research that some parts of these microorganisms have tendencies towards each part of disease in the body. Some of them have a tendency to cause rheumatoid arthritis. Some of them have a tendency to become amyloid, leading to accumulation of amyloid tangles in the brain, so that you can have Alzheimer's disease. So there are little specific areas like that. This has to do with genetic constituent of each individual. Now, the data is this. You have somebody that has microbiota that's more favorable towards cardiac problem, cardiovascular or heart problem. You go to use that toothbrush without care, put into your own mouth, then you imbibe this new microbacter that can cause you different pathology within your body. So while the use of a toothbrush could be a very good thing, if it's not properly kept, not a good microenvironment, or multiple people are using the same toothbrush, then that runs the risk of spreading a cross of diseases, not only within the mouth, but across the entire systemic spectrum.
Do you see this in the US as well, people using the same toothbrush?
don't have a research to support it, but I know that people are a little careless enough to do all kind of things that are not helping their health generally.
Okay, so speaking about keeping the toothbrush in a good place. So what I hear from you is that you put your toothbrush on the sink, where everybody is, maybe 5 people are using the same bathroom, and you just put it exposed to the elements, so to speak, rather than maybe putting it in a toothbrush. I mean, I for one, don't even keep my toothbrush in the bathroom. I keep it somewhere else. But at the very least, put it inside a container that protects it from heated with these bugs, right?
Absolutely. At the very least, have a very clean case where you keep your toothbrush and make sure that exactly, because you don't want the toothbrush again to be a source of environmental microbacteria that you can introduce back into your body that can cause you another systemic problem or a local problem in your mouth.
So what I'm hearing from you is that if a bacterium or virus or any other bug gets into your mouth, either through your teeth or through the bad foods you've eaten and the debris that's stuck in your mouth, and it becomes acidic and infested and all that, somehow it enters into the gum and into the bloodstream, and it gets to the heart and can cause different kinds of diseases based on the particular bug that we're talking about. And
exactly.
These bugs can actually go to the brain and cause what is known as dementia. For those of you who don't know what dementia is, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Now, dementia is when you begin to lose your tendencies to, it's a spectrum in which they call it Alzheimer's. You begin to lose tendency for you to remember, memory loss. And the pathophysiology is based on what we call accumulation of some kind of tau protein within the brain, specific areas of the brain. These proteins can just be there, and then they form a kind of tangles which affect the structure of the brain and ultimately begin to affect your ability to remember stuff. And down the road, it begins to affect many other functions of your body. Now, there's a particular bacteria within to break down the tau protein that's accumulated within the area and break them into substances that can cause a lot more tangles to accelerate the cause for Alzheimer's. Brain-body foundation and brain-body effect is something that is practical, and it's really something of tremendous impact when you look at your mouth. Some people wonder, just ordinary stress that you have within the mouth, chronic psychological stress for a long period of time of life can affect your microbacteria within the mouth. And when it does affect that, it affects how your gum functions, how your body reacts, and ultimately affects several other things you have. So your body and your mouth kind of have a bidirectional contribution to each other. Just like we mentioned, type 2 diabetes, a lot of hyperglycemia from type 2 diabetes can cause your periodontal problems and gum problems to escalate. So while diabetes is happening within your body, it can cause you a lot more periodontal gum problems within your mouth. If you take a tooth out, you may not heal so quickly. Then you get more infections because you don't heal so quickly. And you have to be on antibiotics. And so all of this stuff kind of work together, that this basic care of the mouth, of the oral tissues, plays a vital role on the entire body altogether.
We have a few more minutes now. I don't want us to end this segment or this session without talking about the other things that dentists in the US emphasize. Like they talk about, you have to come 6 months, every 6 months you have to come for cleaning, and you have to scrub your, floss your teeth. In fact, some say you have to use the pickaxe or whatever, the pig floss, the high pressure water thing that they use. But they say floss is not good, you have to use this. And I hear that. And it's like, wait, we have to do all this? So let's address that quickly.
Now, evidence has shown that flossing does work. Evidence-based dentistry has given us lots of accumulated data that flossing does work. One, now, the literal aspect of flossing is just to use the little stripe of string. You go it once a day, just once a day is just enough. That's what's recommended by the American Dental Association. Once a day is okay. You go in between each teeth. What it does is manually takes away debris that are stuck between the gums and the teeth. It dislodges microbacteria. It dislodges bacteria. It gives you accessibility to be able to brush them all the way. And it prevents things lodging with your gums in between your teeth. essentially it allows for more cleaning tendencies. Now, there's a little more technology other than the little having a little floss stripe that you run into your mouth. There's now what we call water floss. People can just use water going all through it. Evidence has shown all of them works, but now it depends on your choice and what you can afford, because pricing all differs in terms of but basic old type flossing tendencies and type are still very cheap out there. It's something that should be encouraged. In addition to twice brushing a day, flossing once a day is highly recommended just to keep microbiota away. The microbiota looks so small, but they could cause a lot of pathology for the individual, particularly depending on your immune status.
Fantastic. And then 6 months.
Yes, it's a good culture that most people in the United States keep. I would say most in relative to the Nigerian environment. But in terms of even the statistics in the United States, still many people still need to go to see dentists more. But with relative to Nigeria, a lot more people go to see dentists in the United States than in Nigeria. They keep their 6-month appointment. They go for that recall. And what do you do in a recall? The recall is for them to kind of do a checkup on you. You might need 1 or 2 X-rays. They check upon your gums, check upon your tissues, check upon the soft tissues, check upon the hard tissues, the teeth, and make sure you're good. They also correlate what's happening in your mouth with your entire systemic body. When you go to a very standard dentist in the United States, you're going to take your medical history, run everything going in your medical situation, either in your heart, in your body, your blood pressure, renal problem, systemic problem, hormonal problem. They balance everything based on what they're seeing in your mouth. And they evaluate you based on that every 6 months, and they make appropriate recommendations. Basic recommendations will just be cleaning. Most of them are covered by insurance. Most of those 6 months cleanings are covered by the insurance, particularly when it's just basic cleaning. There are occasions in which people need what we call a deeper cleaning, what we call scaling and polishing. That's also covered by insurance to some extent, but it's a good culture most people in the United States have adopted, and it does help. Because when you come in a 6-month period, we can know what's going on in soft tissues. They can take care of the gums, get all the tatters, the plaque, and the calculus out of them, evaluate with X-rays when there's a need to get something done, and check in your mouth even if there are any features that can cause any tendencies for cancer or anything down the road that can cause a big problem. So it's a 6-month recall that is done most people in the United States compared to Nigeria is something that we should adopt in the Nigerian communities. There's several dentists out there in Nigeria that are great, and I hope we Nigerians can take care of that opportunity.
Fantastic. Well said. So there's so much more we have to unpack, but at this, we've run out of time. So I'm going to say, just do a quick recap, folks. The bottom line here is that you've got to take the health of your teeth, your oral health, more importantly than you are. I would say that's true for 90% of people. So please, first and foremost, brush your teeth regularly. I'm assuming general toothpastes are good. Is there any particular kind that we should avoid, Doc?
Any toothpaste that is endorsed by the American Dental Association and by the Nigerian Dental Association is acceptable. These are highly professional body that make decisions based on science. So anything endorsed by the American Dental Association or the Nigerian Dental Association is acceptable by the population. I think it's something that people should go to the market and pick up.
Okay, folks, you've heard that. Brush your teeth twice a day, folks. If you're going to brush your teeth once, then you brush it at night. Yes, bros? Yes, Doc?
Absolutely advisable, because that's when we all sleep and things accumulate in the mouth. Brush at night, floss, and go for a recall every 6 months. They look basic, but they prevent a lot of problems.
Absolutely. All right, so we have to wrap it up right now. Thank you, Dio, for being on us, for educating us today. We will look forward to hearing from you again next week, by the grace of God. And thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the Brain and Body Foundation, and have a wonderful 2022, everybody. Let's make oral health a very important part of 2022. Have a wonderful one. God bless you.
Absolutely. Folks, see you next week. Remember, you can always watch these videos on the NT website. NTA YouTube website and on our website as well, Brain and Body Foundation. In the meantime, take care, stay safe, stay strong. God bless. Bye-bye.
Let's live together.